So it's been a couple weeks since I've made a video about this. I'm going to tell you that I did make some changes to our mix, and the idea is for me to be able to figure out what they were since the last time I did this. Yeah, I have no idea what I did. Basically it became a fight with the piano in the background. Oh yeah, we'll discuss this in a minute. The piano in the background versus the toy piano that's laying on the top of it. So I had to adjust the volume of it. I also, yeah, right here you'll see I added a little bit of automation, and you'll notice that the level I think is lower on it. Yeah, see it's down 5 dB overall, and then I did do a fade out after it does this sustaining note part because it felt like the notes were sustaining and they were way too audible when they cut off. So I kind of wanted them to drift off into nothingness. And in order to do that, I just did a little fade out on the fader. So yeah, the next big problem was I came up with something creative that I wanted to do with the song while listening to it on my phone, my MP3 player, my whatever it is. And since then, my trial of 3-plex has run out, and I went ahead and told you when I did that this was going to happen, and sure enough, it has happened. So, and of course, I didn't turn it into a WAV file, or bounce the track rather. So I'm in quite a pickle between deciding to make the creative edit that I wanted to make, and losing the 3-plex device that I had on toy piano number 2 that did all this fade in, fade out stuff. So I can either recreate this 3-plex bit using a normal delay and maybe a filter on top of that delay, or skip out on the thing that I wanted to do, or thirdly, I could pay the $45 for the 3-plex. I'm not going to do the last thing because I don't want to spend that money right now. So what I've decided to do, alright, getting on with, that's my dilemma about the 3-plex thing, but I'm going to conquer it because what's life if you can't conquer your problems? Alright, I've got these 2 violins that come in right here, and they pretty much echo one another, but they're just spaced off rhythmically. I mean, right there, the last 3 notes are different, but these first 3 notes are the same, just positioned differently. And what I was thinking I would do is take these portion right here, and the problem I was running into, or I felt like I was running into, was that when this first violin comes on, it stands out so much over the toy piano piece that we've got that it's unnatural, it's distracting, it doesn't sit well as how to introduce the instrument to the song. So I've decided to try to bring it in a little more artistically. What I'm going to do, if I can find it in all this mess, start minimizing stuff. Alright, here are the 2 violins. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just build parallel channels for them. Next to positive, that's what I'm going to do. Yes, let's do that. Create parallel channel for left, create parallel channel for right, and let's see what that does on the mix thing. Okay, it did go ahead and send it to the string side chain, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we're going to, yeah, let's just listen to it real quick. It's funny, it doesn't sound the same, does it? I guess it is the same. Yeah, well, you did just copy it over. It's funny how putting something in some other place will change the way your ears interpret it. Alright, so on violin 1 right, I'm going to add reverbs to both of these. And my reverb of choice is the DR1 in this situation. So let's do that. And bring the low cut on both on up about 80 something. The reason I'm doing this is to remove low frequencies. That makes sense, doesn't it? We're going to go fully wet. And, well, 3 seconds is probably enough. Alright, so let's just hear that. And, well, the other thing I want to do is mute the normal channel. Actually, you know what? Let's not mute it. Close that. Go away. What I want to do is automate the volume so that... Why can't we put you up here with the other orange stuff? That would be nice. Right there, that would be good. Alright, so basically it's going to be nothing. What the heck is going on here? Man, I'm so confused. Okay, that's my full thing. And okay, that is going to be weird with... What the heck? Alright, so yeah, there we go. What I did was I copied the left channel over to the right channel so that they actually mimic one another at some point, and I'm going to gradually increase the volume starting on 12 until it's full power at 19 there. Do the same thing for the left channel. I thought that was the left channel. That was the right channel. Holy crap, this is confusing me. Alright, but I'm going to do the same exact thing. So, then we'll do that for P1 left and P1 right. Except we're going to do it in reverse. Alright, so I'm going to open this in edit mode, and I'm going to make the default level 0. And then from 719 is going to be when the other one's coming in full power, so let's just say right there around 21. We're going to start, we'll be absolutely silent at 21 and fade towards that starting at 17. Alright, so basically this is kind of a cross-fading kind of deal. Oops, forgot to do it for the other one. Right there. So these first few bars of violin playing will be heavily reverbed, and then it'll slowly transition into the, let's make it a little more significant of a transition, into the non-heavily reverbed version. Alright, and just out of curiosity, let's see what it sounds like. For whatever reason, it doesn't sound anything like what I was expecting it to. Almost like one of the reverbs isn't working. Is something not right here? That's because I put this reverb right here in the wrong channel. It was supposed to be in P1 violin left, and somehow it got into the dry version of the process signal. Alright, so let's try it again. Much better. Alright, it's close to what I was thinking. Not exactly dead on, though. What do I want to change about this? I still feel like the violins are a little too strong when the dry signal comes in, so what I'm going to do is just lower their overall volume during this section to see if I can compensate for it. It just seems overpowering to me. Whether that's reasonable or not, that's another thing altogether. There we go. And I almost feel like the reverb is too much. I'm going to dial down the time on it, and just we'll go from there. And you know what? It may not need to be that strong either. Let's just soften it overall. Just because a fader starts at 0 doesn't mean you need to leave it starting at 0. That's good. Alright, there's a weird part where these two are not agreeing with each other right here on this last one. See, can I solo these things out? Yeah, that's way too abrupt. I'm going to change the velocity. I may stretch this last note out. I don't know. In context, it may be better. Now I'm afraid it feels a little too mechanical. I kind of want it to be spacey, and I'm afraid that, you know, just kind of something lifting up out of the fog, something, which one is it that's feeling so odd to me? It's the right channel. I'm going to do something stupid by making it more complex and add a reverb or an echo to it. and just kind of see what happens. We're playing right now. I kind of want the attack to drop off, if that's making any sense. Want it to be more of a pad-like sound. Alright, this thing is always playing behind the other one, so I'm going to shift it over. How far is it playing behind? This is always coming in on the 4th beat of the measure, whereas this one always seems to come in on the 2nd beat of the measure, so they're a half note off of one another. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to shift this by 2 to see if we can generate more consistency in how it's playing off of one another. Yeah, that's nice. I like it. Cool. Alright. Now there's just the question of whether or not the reverb is right. You know, it may need something. Maybe we'll just dial the reverb back a little bit and give a little bit more dry signal. Alright, well, I'm tempted to do more like this. Alright, so have it fade in, reach a point where the reverb is loud, and then drift out. That's better. I'm going to make this one stronger. Alright. Last time. Yeah, that's a much better way to bring the violins in. I like it. It's much smoother. And that's exactly the problem I was having with it, was way too abrupt to bring the instrument in. It didn't transition well. It's like, oh, all of a sudden there's this thing sticking in your ear. And it was only one ear at that. You know, I didn't bring them in at the same time. I only had the right or the left, I don't know which one it was, but one of the channels was coming in before the other, and it just did not work that well for me. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this one. We'll work on the 3-plex issue next.